Imagine yourself as a makeup artist. A makeup artist that was hired to apply makeup to multiple Hollywood actors. All day, every day, for about 9 months. It's no easy task. In fact, in order to prepare for such a job, you had to spend at least a few years of your life going to a specialized makeup school just to build up the stupid portfolio that'll make the bosses even consider hiring you. You finally get the job to spend countless hours decorating the same set of faces over and over and over with the express purpose of making them look right, not just for you, but to the entire world. Sure, you could say you're just in it for the money, but is that what you would truly believe? Is that why you spent years in a school just to get to this point? Or maybe, deep down, you knew the importance of your role. So imagine yourself as a makeup artist, putting in blood, sweat, tears, and BB cream to freshen up the faces of many actors, analyzing their skin tone, cleansing their pores, shading their eyes, brightening their cheeks. Imagine yourself as a makeup artist, nearing the final days of production, hoping that all of this work was worth it. Imagine yourself as a makeup artist, itching to hear people at least say you've done a good enough job. Imagine yourself as a makeup artist, realizing that said people will not be able to make such a judgment, because the film studio suddenly decides to shelve the project for money purposes. Imagine yourself as a former makeup artist, happening to hear some other people say, "Yeah, but the film was likely going to be bad anyway." How would you feel about that? Because I imagine I would be a little bit peeved. So you've probably heard of the news, and maybe even saw the first trailer. Coyote Vs Acme is actually getting released in theaters. For those who do not know, Coyote Vs Acme is a Looney Tunes film that was originally made and set to release in theaters around 2023, only to be shelved by Warner Brothers for a tax write-off, as in forcing the film to not be seen by anyone just so they can automatically save moolah. But in response to massive public backlash, Warner Brothers gives the rights of producing the film to Ketchup Entertainment. And by give, I mean have Ketchup buy the rights so they can make even more moolah through duplicitous methods. And now the film is set to release this August. But there are some who wonder if the backlash was worth it. Some even say that the backlash is simply a publicity stunt, as the same people advocating for the film's release will take one look at the trailer and decide not to watch it. And to that, I say, and? You see, art can come in all shapes and sizes and receive all sorts of different subjective reactions. Yes, but they all have one common goal: to be reacted to. Sure, you could argue that most forms of art don't get witnessed by the general population. Does a child's drawing get viewed by billions of people? Not typically. But a Hollywood movie is not a child's drawing, now is it? It is a form of art that is made by hundreds, if not thousands of people, all with the express purpose of being paid for and viewed by even more people. And yet, as of recently, quite a few films have been getting shelved despite being finished. It'd be like parents buying their child the pencils and papers required to make a drawing, only to snatch and flush the finished drawing down the toilet before the child could even marvel at it. Now, would the actual quality of the drawing affect the absurdity of the situation? I don't think so. Yet Warner Brothers has recently done such a thing quite a few times. This time, however, they've just made the mistake of doing so to a film with a premise that actually intrigued the general public. A movie based off of arguably the most popular Looney Tunes shorts, featuring beloved wrestling actor John Cena? It's no wonder Warner Brothers was pressured to, somewhat, reverse their decision, and I'm glad. I'm glad the film will be given a chance to be viewed and judged. But I do worry that people will learn the wrong lessons out of this. For it's not because Coyote vs. Acme will be a good movie to watch that I am glad. In fact, I believe the chances of the film being good are 50-50. On one hand, it is a film based off of one of the most beloved sets of Looney Tunes shorts of all time, with popular writer and director James Gunn partially being at the helm, and it is following up the decent Looney Tunes film, The Day the Earth Blew Up. On the other hand, it is an animated and live-action hybrid, with the animated parts looking to be 3D shell-shaded models rather than actual hand-drawn animation, unlike the shorts it's based on, and this film was originally going to be a follow-up to the much-maligned Space Jam: A New Legacy. For all I know, this film could simply be a mere cash grab. A film so terrible that the producers foresaw its box office bombing, and thus shelved it to prevent such a disaster. And it's not the only film that could fit in this description. How many of you have heard of the film Batwoman? Probably not so many. It's another tax write-off victim of Warner Brothers, and it was probably going to be a terrible movie, being part of the controversial DCEU franchise. But unlike Coyote Vs Acme, there was little to no outcry over Batwoman's demise. Injustice, I say. The film was worked on, the film was finished, therefore it needs to be released. They all do. And if Warner Brothers knew the film was going to be a box office bomb, then they shouldn't have greenlit the damn thing in the first place. There are countless rubbish films that I wish never existed, but I wish for them to not exist through fair terms. As in, I simply wish they were never made. But they were made, and therefore I am glad they were released, not only because so many people worked on them, but also because we, the audience, the one these films are made for, are given a chance to judge the films, and trash them when warranted. That's what needs to happen to all films that are made. With the exception of reasonably illegal stuff like snuff films or Netflix's Cuties, of course. Now, people should go see Coyote vs. Acme just to prove a point. At least all the people that protested against its shelving should do so. I do think this film should succeed in the box office, regardless of its quality. I hope all of the revenue exclusively goes to Ketchup Entertainment, just to give Warner Brothers a much-deserved salt rub to the wound. But if that doesn't happen, if the reviews become so bad the film bombs at the box office, then, morally speaking, that shouldn't matter. What's important is we were the ones that made it bomb. We were the ones that determined the film to be rubbish. Just by simply releasing, the film has fulfilled its purpose. That is what's supposed to happen, no matter the quality of the film, because censoring movies for nonsensical reasons is horse rubbish, I say. That is why it's good that Coyote vs. Acme is being released, and that is why all cancelled films should be released. And that is why films should either never be cancelled or never be conceptualized. Plain and simple. The purpose of art is to be made, seen, and judged. Once the creator makes the art, the audience deserves to see it and judge it. They may not always bother seeing it. They may not always make well thought out judgments. But they deserve the chances to see and judge regardless. Because when a makeup artist spends months putting on makeup for an audience to see, it doesn't matter how good it is. If the audience can't see it. Thank you for sticking around to the end. Like, subscribe, hit the bell, and share this video to every specimen you know. I'd appreciate it. And check out the bombastic science comic strips that I post on various sites every day, 6 days a week. If you wish to support me, you can become a Patreon member of mine and see the comics 2 weeks early, or you can witness them 1 week early on Webtoon. Links in the description. Now that's enough from me for today. Go write your own stories, and for pity's sake, make sure they're well written.